yeah, that pretty much sums up my reaction to the pilot Winter is Coming. Part of me wants to summarize the episode Winter is Coming. Sorry about the shaky cam. Anyway, part of me wants to summarize Winter is Coming, but at the same time, so much happened in this episode, I don't really want to summarize or get too nitpicky because, yeah, so much happened. I'd be here all day if I were to review the episode. But yeah, it was a really solid pilot. I mean, essentially, it needed to do a couple things. Number one, first off, it needed to assure fans that, yes, we have read the book. Yes, we're going to stay true to the book. We aren't going to fuck around with it too much. And it did that. And also, you need to give everyone who hasn't read the book basically establish more or less all the characters, and there are a shit ton in the book. You need to give a sense of tone and just give us a sense of what the show is going to be. And as far as doing all that, it did it really effectively. Like, I need to look how many chapters this book, the show, covered, but it covered a lot. And it covered all those chapters really effectively. Like, I can't, as someone who's very nitpicky, I can't recall anything too major that got dropped. I mean, I'm sure they're going to change stuff. Like, I feel like the only thing they changed was there's a scene between Jamie and Kathleen that wasn't in the book, but I get that. You want to show us the King's Landing. You want to, which looks great, by the way. Probably the best visual in the entire show was that establishing shot of King's Landing. I can't wait until we go there. Looks so epic in the book. And oh my gosh, like so much of this stuff looks so epic in the book. Like the wall, oh my gosh, the wall. But I agree. So I was okay with that. Established King's Landing. Jamie and Kathleen also be established their incest of each other. And I at first was like, whoa, wait, are you really going to spoil that? But I mean, they show them doing incest in the exact same episode, so it wasn't like they were ruining anything big. So I'm trying to think what else. I'm pretty okay with all the characters so far. Like, no one character. The only one that really stood out was Peter Dinklage. I thought was really good as Tyrion, but most of the others, there was this initial phase of, okay, this is how they are. I mean, some of them I was okay with, like Daenerys. I had seen photos of her, so pretty much that's how I pictured her in the book. But all the other characters, I had some sort of vision of them in my head, and now I'm gonna have the Game of Thrones version in my head. So there was this initial taken aback period, but I've adjusted. And trying to think what else. I mean, there wasn't really that much room in the episode for any one character to really have a lot of standout moments. I mean, if anything, like the biggest character was Ned Stark. I mean, this is more just establishing all the characters. I mean, there's even like some bits where they have to sort of do. There's some moments of exposition that weren't there in the book that was more there for the audience to just get introduced to characters, like when Rob shows up, who dead on. That's pretty much how I picture him in the book, where Rob shows up and Ned's introducing his family, and that's more for the audience, so we know who the characters are. But I was okay with that. So really like how much they're packing into each episode. It's really well paced. I mean, again, the fact that you have 10 you're giving. I mean, I'm not worried that this is gonna feel rushed at all. I mean, 10 episodes. This is a 10 episode book. No, they're doing the first book in 10 episodes, from what I understand. And yeah, I mean, they covered a pretty fair amount of ground in that, so I have no worries that they're going to feel rushed. I mean, I'm sure stuff's going to get cut out, but I doubt it'll be anything important. Glad they did this as a show. I mean, again, like, with so much, books are so dense sometimes that if you do them as a movie, you have to really keep the pace moving fast. Like, this show really is having time to let the characters breathe, let me get immersed in the world. And again, the fact that you're making this a fucking show is great, but with shows, there's often that reservation of money and that, you can't quite get everything to look as good as it could. But with the show, I mean, the visuals look pretty good. I mean, there's this oomph. There's this slight oomph that's lacking, but it's slight. Like, for the most part, it looks really good. Like, I mean, there are like a couple moments I'm like, yeah. Like, when they're in the forest looking for the Darrells, that felt like it was shot in a forest somewhere. Like, But, like, for the most part, I totally buy it. And that's because all the shots are really well staged. The costumes are fucking amazing. Like, the sets are really good, and everything sets effects. Like, it feels alive. It doesn't feel like Walking Dead, where at times I clearly feel like, yeah, this is low budget. Yeah, this is shot in the middle of the forest. Like, see, AMC, this is what happens when you put money into a show. But yeah, there's some really nice cinematography. Again, it feels like a movie at times. Like, I love the establishing shot of De Niro. It's like, that was, like, whoever's behind the camera really knows what they're doing. And I also love how the show's using some show not tell visuals to get some points across. Like, again, establishing brands, like you have all these shots of him climbing just to establish that he's there. Now in the book they tell you that for words, but it's so good. Like, I mean, you can't go inside these characters' heads because it's a show. You can't like have text explain. Here's what this character is thinking. So I'm really glad. So glad the filmmakers found a way to work around that. Like, Daenerys, like, I love how you can tell how she feels. She barely says anything in this episode, but just by the expression on her face, you can clearly tell how she's feeling. But yeah, it's a really solid episode. And also the intro was pretty cool theme. I do love how it's showing like all the world of Westeros. It was really cool. And I don't know. I mean, the models, I'm a little mixed on them using models, but again, the fact that you're showing a map, it shows fans, yes, that we've read the book, and it lets readers know that the creators have read the book, and it's also giving non-readers a sense of geography of where everything is. And from what I hear, apparently the map changes throughout the episode, so it'll show like locations as stuff becomes important or we discover it. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I really don't have that much to say. It was a really solid pilot. Um, I don't really good. I mean, sometimes I feel bad that I'm judging stuff based on how it is as an adaptation because. But yeah, really solid pilot. Got everything it needed to be done. Set the tone well. Established all the characters. Reassured fans it was going to be faithful to the book, and just gave us a little taste of everything. Well, and left you wanting more, and that's always good. So yeah, I'm really into it. I cannot wait to watch it, and when I'm done watching season 1, I'll be sure to vlog about that. So, this is J Star 360 signing out.